Hey, how's it going guys? My name is Ray and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make gyudon. This is a Japanese beef bowl dish that I believe was popularized by this Japanese fast food chain, Yoshinoya. It is either usually served just as it is, like just beef and rice, or you can add various toppings to it. And that's why today I'm gonna be serving my gyudon with some crisped up spring onions and onsen egg, just to make the whole eating experience better. Oh, and by the way, if you're new here and you love international food recipes like me, don't forget to subscribe to this channel because I'm gonna be sharing my favorite international food recipes weekly. So enough talking, let's cook! Okay, let's start with the sauce. I've actually already shared the recipe on my last video, but because this is more relevant to this video, I'm gonna share it in this one as well. So basically all you have to do is combine 1 cup of soy sauce, half cup of mirin, half cup of sake, and 1 cup of dashi, and put it over medium heat until it started boiling. And once it does, just give it a little taste so you know how much sugar you have to put in next. This is because the sweetness of the mirin, sake, and everything else in there, including the dashi, is gonna be different from brand to brand. So you really have to go by taste here, but I ended up going with 3 tablespoons. And the sauce is supposed to be super strong. It's gonna be super salty and super sweet at the same time because we're gonna add some more water again later during cooking time. Once you're happy with the flavors, just turn off the heat and let it cool down completely to room temperature before transferring it into a bottle or any container of your choice. And also, it's also a good practice to label it so that you know exactly when this was made. This will last you in the fridge for at least 3 months. Best thing about this is that this is very versatile. You can use it in almost any scenario. You can even use it for teriyaki sauce replacement. Now let's talk about the beef. You will need to find thinly sliced beef like this. It's usually available in most Asian supermarkets. But yeah, usually for one portion you will need about 100 grams ish. I'm using 120 grams today. And I'm also gonna add in about 20 more grams of the sauce. And don't even try and pretend to be civilized like me here. Just go in there with your hands. I mean, it's gonna take a while if you're using spoons. And once everything's evenly coated, just let it sit on the bench for at least 10 minutes to marinate. Next, prepare a ramekin or a bowl with ice water in it. Next, slice up some spring onions. You can use as many or as little as you want. I'm using 1 spring onion here. Then just drop it into the ice water that you prepared earlier. This is gonna crispen up the spring onion and make it taste super fresh. I usually use this trick if I wanna draw a lot of attention to the spring onion itself. Next, we're gonna thinly slice half an onion and we're just gonna set it aside until needed. And this is optional, but I also like to add 1 clove of minced garlic to it. I think it just brings more flavor to the whole dish. And this is another optional component as well, some mushrooms, which I'm just gonna saute separately to the beef. Heat up a pan over medium-high heat with 2 tablespoons of oil in there, and once the oil is heated up nicely, just add in the mushrooms straight away and saute them for about 1 to 2 minutes. Once the mushroom has started browning, add in 1 to 2 tablespoons of sauce, the exact same sauce that we made earlier, and just saute them for a further 1 minute, or until it's properly caramelized like this, at which point you can just prepare a bowl of rice like so and just top it with your mushrooms. This part is totally optional because they don't traditionally do this, but I feel like this gives the whole dish a whole new texture and flavors that works really well together. Now finally we can cook our beef. Just heat up the pan over medium-high heat again. Use the same pan that you used for the mushrooms. Add in about 1 cup of the sauce that we made earlier, followed by half a cup of water, and just swirl it around to mix them well together. Next you can add in the garlic and the onion slices, and just nestle them around so they're covered with the sauce. And when it started boiling, you can add in the beef as well. Make sure to do it in 1 even layer. Try to avoid any overlaps or they won't cook evenly. Then we're just gonna simmer them together for about 5 minutes. And after the first flip like this, you can lower the heat down to as low as possible because we want to simmer the beef gently to preserve the flavors. Plus, I think it gives you better texture this way. And when you're done, just top the beef onto the rice bowl as well. Make sure you pour in all that amazing sauce and juice as well. The best part about this dish is actually the rice soaked in that beefy, oniony broth. And by the way, with the broth, if you want it to be a bit thicker, you can just heat it up once again and reduce the broth to the consistency of your liking and make it pretty much a sauce. But traditionally, it just looks like something like this. It shouldn't be too thick, but just gives you enough flavor punch to the rice. Then we're just gonna top it with the crispen up spring onions that we made earlier. And just to make it even fancier, I'm just gonna top it with an onsen egg. If you wanna learn how to make this onsen egg, I'm gonna link the video up here. I've covered onsen egg in great details in that video, so if you wanna learn my foolproof method, please check that out. And yeah, just to complete the whole dish, I'm just gonna sprinkle it with a little bit of togarashi, or you can use chili powder as well. Either one of them should work. And that's it guys, it's time to dig in. Just look at how beautiful that onsen egg is, and mixed with the tender beef, along with the sauce-soaked rice and the freshness from the spring onions, sauteed mushrooms. Oh, how can you say that this is not good? Just look at this guys. I mean, isn't that just gorgeous? A perfect comfort food. Now let me just give this a try. And yum! Everything works really well. Even that shiitake mushroom and shimeji mushroom works really well to complement this dish, and blanketed by that velvetiness from the onsen egg. Everything is just perfect guys. You really need to try this recipe out. Well, that's it for today's recipe guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this recipe, and if you did, please don't forget to leave this video a like and share and comment, because it will help me a lot. See you next week guys. Cheers!